I agree there.
Yeah, me too.
Typical ice interview.
At some point, I was thinking he's a lot less clowny than he normally is. This is great. And then, yeah, food.
The big thing for me is you can be that guy in Twitch and get somebody to try out a hero and play it in a professional match. You can be that guy.
Oh, in before every professional player that streamed, play this hero as a core.
But I can vouch that he loves eating.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, he had so much good food in the boot camp.
Really?
Yeah, he had so much.
What do you have? What was his favorite thing?
He had he had foie gras, and he literally in the fridge, you know, he had foie gras and he had the truffle. I don't know, like that's a lot of.
But does he cook then, or does he get
his wife cooks them?
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yeah. I mean,
It was
his
fun.
team house
It was fun
at that point.
staying at the team house.
Yeah, I
getting
can
fed.
imagine.
Pretty
So,
awesome.
because you have some extra insight here on how this team potentially works, as you were a Faceless as coach before. How do you feel like this team for Ice matches up compared to what he used to have?
Nothing against the old players, but this team, I think it's definitely an upgrade from Faceless. They are better from each position, and I think the only downside is maybe the communication won't be as good because Mushi and Nana, their English is somewhat not as good as like Black, XY, and Nuts. And because Jebs is like, he's Thai, so he doesn't know Mandarin. They can't use Mandarin. So that's the only like downside. I think communication is like a downgrade. But team composition-wise, it's an upgrade.
All right, so promising indeed. I mean, so far they're doing quite okay here, just like SG. So we have had all tournaments styles clashing. This is going to be South America versus Southeast Asia, which are arguably two of the messiest play styles that you can think of. And you know, that's I thought a very nice way of putting it.
I'm messy.
But how do you think this is gonna go out? Because two messy play styles that meet. I mean, is it gonna be ultra messy, or are they gonna cancel each other out?
I think they're gonna battle all game
Battle?
long.
It's gonna be a chaotic
Nice.
game. A lot of kills, I guess. Hopefully.
People love that.
So first ban Enchantress. I think that is a great indicator how this game is gonna go. Like SG is a team that, like I said, they prioritize on lane. They rely on their lane dominance, and Enchantress is a hero that is going to mess up the equilibrium.
Night Stalker is left alone for now. I'm kind of curious if they wanted to try and take that one for themselves.
They might though, because they ban out the Vino. Vino is really good against NS, and Mineski is also a team that likes to run NS, so they might not want to give away. Even if they don't want the NS so much, they might not want to give it to Mineski.
Yeah, it's the most banned, I think, for both of them also, or most banned or picked. And the Earthshaker is taken out, like we were talking about. No reason to give that one to him. The Jakiro is the other thing that SG was running a lot of, and it felt like that could be one of those heroes. I mean, you don't want to like ever build around a Jakiro, but it's quite good.
If you have nothing to ban, I think you can ban Jakiro. But yeah, otherwise, I don't think you have to ban it. Like Earthshaker, I can understand because they play a really good Earthshaker.
Right.
So first picks available, there's Lich, there's Night Stalker. Those are the two like ones that come to my mind right now, right away. I mean, there's still Nyx, but I'm not sure if they'll. So they go for the NS.
Yeah.
Earlier today, Mineski went for the Veno Clock combination. Obviously, Veno already removed. They also had, well, they had the Veno Clock combination both.
Yeah.
Games.
So right now, they probably will want something that's good in a lane. I'm thinking of like maybe they go for the Lich. Like something to help secure the lanes or some strong laner.
I mean, they could also take a Nyx here. I feel like that's another hero that they prioritize. Run it together with it, maybe. Ooh.
Lich Earth Spirit. So you got your support duo instantly. You got a lot of aggression with that Earth Spirit already. We know that Jabs moves around a lot. I like this combination.
Yep, it's pretty, I would say, like solid. Like they cover a lot of grounds. Like this support duo, if you want to talk about this support duo, they cover the lane, because Lich is really good in the lane. Teamfight covered as well. Lich, Earth Spirit, a lot of teamfight. And they have catch, because Earth Spirit is like a reliable catch, stun and silence. So they got a lot of things going on for them with this tool. Like pretty solid opening, in my opinion.
Anything that SG can take away from this and abuse? Is there like the weak spots in the support
Furion,
duo?
I think Furion is really good against, Nature's Prophet is really good against Lich and Earth Spirit. And Furion is really good with NS.
This is their most
Bear Rider is
player.
also like somewhat okay, like it works really well with NS, and we saw at TI, LGD FY, they picked this duo a lot. NS, Bear Rider, want to give vision, so Bear Rider can actually find the picks. good pressure in the lane.
Yeah.
It's gonna make it quite hard for the Lich and Earth Spirit to handle them early. They are pretty strong, but we'll see. Like the Lich, maybe he's gonna choose to help mid, and they're gonna pick like a teams will like usually use Weaver or Lifestealer against Bat Rider so that there's no kill threat. You know, the Bat Rider can't kill you, so then you leave that lane alone and you help the other lanes.
I kind of feel like SG might think about going for something like a Bane here, that type of a hero to sort of match where the Lich goes as well and help out a bit.
I kind of like their Jakiro more.
Really?
I saw their first game, they played Jakiro. Jakiro is really good with these two heroes as well. Because if you think about NS as a hero, what is NS giving you and what is NS weak at? NS is giving you vision and catch, but he's weak at wave clear and tower push. Jakiro, like, he takes care of those two.
Yeah, there is macro pyring waves the whole time.
And he can push tower. So I personally like Jakiro and NS. And even good synergy with Bat, you lasso and then you have the Ice Path, macro pyre to follow damage and follow up stun.
I love your idea, Winter,
okay,
but so did Mineski.
Okay.
So they banned it.
No Jakiro.
Yeah, we don't want to give you that one this time around.
So, yeah.
Maybe Mineski will want to... I'm not sure, maybe they will go back for their Visage.
Do you feel like Mineski has enough wave clear with these two? Because that's not really wave clear at all.
Yeah, the other heroes are going to have the wave clear for sure. Because these two heroes, like I said, they cover a lot of departments, like the lanes, the catch, the team fight, but they don't really have good wave clear. Like Earth Spirit is like...
he doesn't do anything. He's like
average,
kicks
like
the
you
wave.
need to kick and roll like to kill the quick
So
wave.
the other thing that I'm thinking here is this is like they're going to need to pick a really strong safe laner.
They
Because
ban the Visage as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the lane is going to have a lot of problems with the NS Bat Rider, yeah. So it's I think it's probably going to be something like Lifestealer, Weaver. Not sure what are the other options they have.
Maybe a Necro? Has he been banned out?
Necro is quite difficult against Bat in the lane though. He's a good hero, but he's quite bad against Bat Rider in the laning phase. So I think if you talk about the lane itself, it's either Lifestealer or Weaver or Juggernaut at best, like those three heroes.
Can you not avoid him? You know,
Sorry?
just lane somewhere else with the Necro?
Yeah, can. You can go mid, like Lich, Necro mid. It's possible. Still possible, yeah. If they want the hero.
If they want it, sure,
Yeah.
sure. Well, they're taking their time, taking into the bonus time. Visage indeed was the final ban from SG. We saw that played by Ice Ice Ice. The offlane successfully so as well.
I think that Bat Rider caught him off
Yeah,
guard.
the Bat Rider was a very, very good pick there for SG against these two. Maybe even in some ways, I know I mentioned the Furion, maybe this pick was even better than the Furion.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure. But both offer the same thing in the early game, they pressure a lot. And Lich and Earth Spirit are not very good at dealing with these two heroes. So
Is there a core that they can go for that deals well with this hero? Lifestealer?
Yeah, I mentioned the Lifestealer and the Weaver, those are the
Yeah.
two. I think maybe I would prefer Lifestealer a bit more, because Lifestealer is better against NS. Weaver is a bit weaker against NS.
Oh, they go for the offline
Okay,
Wyvern.
there we go,
What?
bro.
I mean, it's good, but like revealing it this early, they know what they're getting into
Honestly,
immediately.
Yeah, I'm not a really big fan of the Winter Wyvern offlane. Like, to be fair, I think the hero is like, he's really risky though. Of course, if he gets farm, he's like so strong.
Right.
Yeah.
But the problem is like, getting there is always like not that easy, and it's an expense of your team as well. Because this hero as an offlaner is like kind of like a very carry offlane. He takes up a lot of resource.
To be honest, I think that SG are going to try and put themselves in a position to take Arc Warden in a little bit here. It's one of their most played heroes. They've got 100%
Wyvern
win
is
rate on
pretty
it.
good against Arc Warden, I
You think so?
because of the ulti, and I mean if you get items, because you're attacking from very far range.
Yeah.
And the Arc Warden can't actually touch. I don't know, I haven't seen the matchup, but in theory, I think late game, if
You haven't
Wyvern
seen
is
matchup of Arc Warden
Against
versus
Wy-
Winter
yeah.
Wyvern carry?
Yeah,
What's
no.
wrong? I know, right?
yeah, but I think Wyvern like technically should have a very good chance because you outrange him and
Okay.
your ulti is really good against him. Yeah, but I'm excited to see if it ever gets to that stage. you know?
That would be a game that I would not have expected to see ever.
Yeah.
I guess the other nice thing about Wyvern is that it gives you some wave clear. That's something that they do need, and you're not putting yourself at risk.
It will be the AA first.
Oh, very solid
Man.
draft by SG. It's like very good. Their first 3 picks makes a lot of sense together. They didn't go for they don't have the Jakiro, but this is like some of the still a really good replacement because NS has no team fight and AA is really good in team fight. The only thing missing right now is the tower push because they didn't get the Jakiro, and AA is really good with the bat as well.
Yeah, so they got great catch, great pick off, but team fight is still a little bit
Yeah,
lackluster.
they're gonna have need some team. Oh.
Oh,
Wow.
Here we go. So they're gonna so basically, okay, now I can understand the Winter Wyvern pick more here. Wyvern is wave clear.
Yeah.
And they're gonna try to, because there's Lich and Winter Wyvern, so they have two heroes that can slow the game down. Lich because of the armor, you armor the tower, it makes it hard for them to push. Wyvern's gonna be wave clearing, wave clearing. So the idea is Wyvern will be in one lane, wave clearing. Lich will hold the lane that the enemy is pushing. AM is farming the other lane, so there's 3 lanes. And Earth Spirit will be hiding off the map. He'll be missing, trying to camp, trying to catch. So that's how they're gonna potentially approach the game.
What would be the final pick then? What could fit with that?
More wave clear, I think. More catch and more wave clear. Like something like a Park would be nice. I kind of like Park with their heroes, but we'll see. Right now, SG Esports, they see the AM, so how do they react to the AM? Do they go for like more greedy or they go for like a push strat? Like against AM, I would say it's quite hard to outgreed him, but I've seen games where like, example, like you have an Elk or you have a Morphling, or you go for like a Magnus plus Juggernaut Magnus plus
I think you just go and kill him a couple times. Honestly, Bloodseeker is another one that they
Oh, yeah,
take a
that's
decent
good
amount of time. I think you
No,
take
that's pretty
that,
good
you
too.
find some kills.
But AM, if you like against Berserker, is about like still when you get to the stage where you have the Aghanims Lincolns or like either one of those items, you still possible.
There's the Arc Warden.
What about that?
But Arc Warden against Wyvern though, I want to see this.
Yeah.
I actually think Wyvern will win. I don't know, but like Arc Warden is probably like a lot will say like this hero with 6 slots is like the best hero in a game.
Right.
Like, literally the best. But I think against AM and Wyvern, he actually might lose out. Like, I don't know. I just want to see this game.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that's interesting about this, both of these teams, SG is undefeated with Arc Warden, Mineski is undefeated with Anti-Mage over the past month. So somebody's losing here, but they both have what they want,
Yeah.
I think. That's the thing that's interesting to me about this, is it's like the real meeting of the metas.
And the mind games, you know. So basically right now, SG needs a mid hero. Mid hero that...
Yeah.
Because it's potentially Lich AM mid.
Well, you
That-
can have Arc Warden mid, right?
Yeah, but it's going to be a Lich AM mid. I'm not sure if you want your Arc Warden
It
there.
can be AM safe lane.
Yeah, but still, you want to make sure that someone, if it happens, the Lich AM mid, the guy who goes mid can survive that lane.
Yes.
I kind of like the puck that you were talking about before.
Yeah, for Mineski, yeah.
Yeah, it
Wave
feels
clear,
like it's
catch.
really great.
For SG right now, they need, I think they sort of need like more team fight. Because right now, Mineski has really good team fight. Like the first 3, Lich, Earth Spirit, and Winter Wyvern, super team fight. Like one setup, and like imagine if you get a good Winter's Curse off, Chain Force, and like you're just gonna die, you know, Chain Force and Magnetize comes in. So they need something to have, to be able to deal with that. They have good vision and good first move right now because they have the NS and the Bat Rider. So I think they need some maybe additional team fight.
Well, Necro is the last ban for SG. Well, I mean,
I think
They could take the puck
Yeah, Puck
themselves.
would be good for either side, actually.
Yeah?
I'm thinking about it. Like, Puck
Yeah.
would be good for either side.
Ember is another one that's kind of...
Ember's good too, it's
Yeah.
okay. But if the thing I worry about Ember is like if they lane the Ember against the Lich AM, then that might be an issue. So if that happens, the NS or the A has to help the Ember. Otherwise, the Ember will have a very, very hard time.
The other thing that's tough about this is like AM versus a Bat Rider Night Stalker. Like that, is he really going to be able to deal with the pressure that's coming at him?
DK.
They
Oh,
go for
wow.
DK. So
A very
DK can
safe
withstand the pressure. It will give them some team fight, tank, and he's going to be the push as well. DK and Arc Warden. I remember we drafted this in Faces once before at Kiev Major. Seattle, it's Kiev again.
Yeah.
And it worked out really well for us. So I actually kind of I like the 5 heroes that SG pieced out right now. I think it's really solid. And they have a game plan. They are against the anti-mage. They're going to have some push.
Yeah. And then they have a sort of a late game insurance with Arc Warden also.
And it will be the
They go
Ember.
for the Ember.
Actually, well, both lineups are looking pretty solid. Actually, but I think I prefer SG's lineup.
Yeah?
Just a tad more.
Why? What's their like? What are we looking out for here?
Because I think that they have much more balance. Like they have the push,
Mm-hmm.
and they have the wave clear, they have the catch, they have the vision, and they have the late game. Mineski don't really have like the tower, tower sieger. Their lineup is more like they have team fight, they have wave clear, and they have catch. But they don't have like sieger, but they have an AM. So AM will eventually be the sieger if you allow him to.
If
Yeah.
they delay it long enough.
Yeah.
I feel like SG got pretty much exactly what they wanted out of the last 4 picks, and Dragonite
Yeah.
is fine as the 5th. I think they are
I'm
gonna
actually siding
win this.
SG on
I think
this.
they are.
All right. Well, we got a little bit of a one-sided panel going on here.
It's close though, it's close.
It is
Yeah,
very close. It
definitely.
is very close. This game, this series, will decide which of the teams will move to the playoffs and which team gets eliminated. It's a lot on the line here. Over to our commentators for game number 1, OD Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Sheev. And there we have the two drafts, two big iconic picks for both sides. The SG Arc Warden, Mineski, the Mushi anti-mage. We saw it have a bit of success earlier. Is he going to have the same success here, Fogged, or do you think this is a much harder AM game like the panel said?
I like what SG's got. Yeah. They've got their comfort heroes, like they were talking about. And I've seen Adriano play the, or 40R, you could say, they play the DK. He plays incredibly well. Costa Bill, we've seen the damage he can do with this Arc Warden. I like their vision game they've got too. They maybe lack a slight amount of team fight versus what Mineski's got to offer, but overall I like the well-roundedness of their lineup. I'm pretty excited to watch Arc Warden. How about you, Owen?
I mean, I'll tell you who, the crowd's excited to see Arc Warden. I mean, me personally, Arc Warden's one of those heroes that you always remember the pub that you played against that guy that was spamming it and you got absolutely destroyed. It's definitely one of those heroes that, in the right hands, it can absolutely crush everything that you try and do in a game. And as we've seen, as you say, SG have showed us that Costa Bill can certainly be that sort of a player to just take the win for free with the Arc Warden. Up top, going in for a quick touch. And the Flux Buddy's out with the roll.
Yeah, I really like that they have these kill heroes on the side of SG1. Mineski, they need their levels in order to be able to go for those kills, right? Earth Spirit needs a couple levels, same thing with the Lich and Ember Spirit. They need to get their early level 6s to be able to put that pressure on. They do have this stall factor though, like Winter was mentioning, Winter Wyvern, Splinter Blast, be able to nuke out waves, Lich Armor, stall it out for that anti-mage to get huge, but you're playing versus an Arc Warden. That hero, when he gets toward that like 4 or 5 item slots, he's solo killing people on the side of the map with the illusion, with the Tempest Double. It gets to be pretty absurd.
And what do we think? To give us your thoughts on the Ice offlane Wyvern. We've got it in this game, and as you were saying, you know, it's got its merits in terms of dealing with the pressure. Has it got its merits to sort of warrant it being played as a core hero rather than just a support?
I mean, I've seen Complexity do it as well, of course, Ice in their qualifier games. However, this game, I'm not really seeing too much. Of course, it can be really strong just because of how powerful the Arctic Burn is when you can actually get it on just to tap one hero each time. But I think when SG just gets the ball rolling, they've got these vision heroes, right? They've got this pick-off, the Night Stalker, the Bat Rider. If they can just find people on the sides of the map, Arc Warden doesn't even have to commit too much to get himself involved in those kills, right?
Yeah, you can, as you say, sit from the back with the Arctic Burn, keep pretty safe, and he's got good heroes to do that around him as well. What you look at sort of the Lich, the Ember, the Earth Spirit, very good at sort of peeling heroes off and holding them back. Good amount of disable between the chains and the Boulder Smash. And of course, that Frost Armor, never to be something that you can forget about. It's going to be incredibly strong. Of course, this is a game where SG, I guess does the Arc Warden, do they ever build Diffusal on Arc Warden? Is that a potential pickup when you're going against the Frost Armor, or do you just simply look towards... I guess you sort of build magical, essentially, don't you, with the Maelstroms? You have ways to work around the armor.
I think he does the same kind of build every single game on the Arc Warden. It's just a standard, getting that, like, the Maelstrom out, the Shadowblade going that Orchid, Bloodthorn, pick-off areas. And with AA, it's really nice, because you can just throw Ice Blast while Tempest Bubble goes ganks elsewhere. They have a lot of global potential and gank coming out for them. We'll see how much they can actually do. And we've got good lanes coming out. It looks like Mineski's got the lanes they want. They've got the Wyvern versus the Bat Rider. They've got Lich AM top. They should be able to put a little bit of pressure onto that Arc Warden, at least when they put that tri-lane there. But mid lane, we've seen this DK Ember. In the past, we've said Ember does quite well here, but I've been seeing these DKs. They always come out dead even, if not ahead to the opposing mid laner. No matter what the matchup is, even if it's an Ember Spirit.
Absolutely. I mean, we have sort of been telling, I believe we saw a lot of Super DK do that, didn't we? So, if Super's Super, one of the best DKs in the world, we'll see if 40R can pull up a similar performance, and he certainly has been having some very solid showings in the mid lane here on LAN. So, I think, as you say, we could definitely expect to see this be another game where the DK shows us how to not necessarily come out on top, but at least come out even with a proficient Ember Spirit player. Yeah,
just so much HP regen. So, we're taking a look now at the warding situation at least. We did see Mineski try to block the pull initially from SG. They dewarded it, and they commit a secondary ward to actually block the pull. So, Theodokor scouts that out. He knows where the ward is this time because that right sentry does not catch the other one. Doesn't catch it. So now they know where the position of that one is. We'll probably see them deward. Very important lane when you're running these kind of tri-lanes is to have that pull option so that you don't get out-experienced versus the Lich.
And do you think this is the right decision from SG? You know, they obviously see the lanes from Mineski. They don't change them back to try and avoid these matchups that the Mineskis get. They just sort of stick with them and say, all right, you sort of got the upper hand by getting these matchups, but we're not going to waste time TPing around playing musical lanes.
I think Batrider's fine with this. I don't think he cares too much being versus the Wyvern. Sure, you're going to get ticked away every time Arctic Burn is up, but other than that, you can put pressure back onto the Wyvern just throwing those stickies out. And then top lane, I think they just want to, you know, Arc Warden is their win condition in this game. They have to secure his farm.
Trying to go in onto Bardino, coming in with the roll, jabs, gets the slow onto Theo, continues to chase down Ninja Boogie. Now it's a turn back towards Costa Biel as Jabs was trying to make a go for that arc.
Very scary to go versus AA in a tri-lane like this. Whenever Chilling Touch is up is the scare, but now whenever it's down, you commit, and they're trying to.
They're committing heavy. Blink in this time onto Bardino, boulder smash onto 2. Mushi finds the first blood.
Very nice play there by Jabs.
Very big for Mineski as well. As you can see, Mushi heavily suffering in CS on this top lane. Only 6 last hits, but if he can get first blood and get involved in kills, that will certainly make up for the lack of farm he's finding.
This is the beauty of always having the Lich. You're going to be out-leveling the opposing lane quite heavily. And yeah, both the Night Stalker and A were still level 1 when that gank went off. And of course, Earth Spirit being that super dominant hero that we've been seeing lately. Getting level 2, beautiful boulder smash connection onto multiple heroes.
Mid CS. Pretty much expected at the moment still. Ember having that lead against the DK 22-23 against the 15.
Yeah, I've seen Adriano miss a couple creeps actually with the Breathe Fire.
Okay.
So it's a little bit unorthodox to see that happening, but yeah, Nana playing the lane very well right now in that Ember Spirit.
Yeah, DD Rune gonna certainly help a little bit for Adriano. Keep him up and get a few denies past the Ember. Costa Biel's farm, 17 for 4, still with the edge on Mushi, but as we said, that first blood certainly going to give a nice bit of a cash boost to Mushi in this top lane.
Yeah, he needs it. Like you were saying, his last hit's a little suffering just a bit. SG really has to make sure they maximize now. They have to get these pulls off to win this lane.
And here we go up top, straight again. Mushi with the aggressive blink. Jabs is going to be off the mark, though, with the connection. Doesn't find the slow.
SG has to wait for the first nighttime. It kicks in now. This is where Theo can start to put his damage in.
And he's looking straight away. Wow, he was hovering between mid and top. Looks like he's going to try and steal the bounty rune for now.
Oh,
and
he gets it.
yeah, we'll be able to take it from underneath the nose of the Lich.
Very nice.
And Moon will head down to bottom. Grabs himself the regen.
This bottom lane, both of them are not able to farm nicely. Sticky being extremely annoying for the Wyvern with that bad turn rate, and Batrider, of course, getting hit by constant Splinter Blasts.
Yeah, Mushi very close as well to having that second ring, the Ring of Health. And at that point, we'll feel a lot more confident going for plays again, though. Jabs has been missing a few of these rolls, making it very hard, really, for Mineski to follow up with any action, even though could still have been tricky if they did connect, as Theo was in the neighborhood on that Night Stalker, and as you say, with it being nighttime, it's a little bit trickier to make those plays up top.
I think when it's nighttime, Jabs can just get turned on instantly. If he rolls in, they just throw all the spells on him. They throw the Flux, they throw the AA Chilling Touch as well as Cold Feet, and if there's a Void follow-through, they'll probably get the follow-up stun from that Cold Feet and should be able to bring him down. Definitely needs to watch their positioning when they go for those blink-ins and roll-ins. But they are still out-leveling quite heavily because of that Lich, as we were mentioning.
Jabs is towards the other court. And the River Ninja Boogie there as well, just making sure they can keep eyes and information on the movements of this Night Stalker. Very hard for Theolicore to really get that surprise
They
potential.
get the D-ward.
Yeah, only some sort of gold here for the Night Stalker. And of course, the bottom lane, which we haven't really touched upon too much, as it's just been a bit of a farm fest. What have we got? 21 and 11 on Ice, 23 for 5 on the bat, so...
Dead even, pretty much.
Pretty much, yes. Yeah, slightly more CS, but needs those denies.
Neither of them able to really kill each other without a rotation coming in. We could see that rotation come soon, though. They seem to now be maximizing a bit. Nana going to the jungle. Earth Spirit kind of lurking around that mid lane when Adriano pops that Elder Dragon form. The one issue is when you do leave that mid lane versus a Dragon Knight, he can take advantage a lot, just poking that tower.
Man, look at this down bottom. It's going to be exactly what you said. You know, that add
Rotation.
one hero to this, and you could find the resulting kill. They've sent Theolicore down to the bottom lane on the Night Stalker.
Yeah, Ice could be in some trouble here if he has the Batrider closer, but Batrider is very pushed out of the lane because of that spam. Splinter Blast. So it tends to be this off-lane Wyvern or safe lane Wyvern that we saw from Complexity. They skip the ult. They go the 3-3 build to make sure that they can constantly be spamming.
Absolutely, just maximizing their potential in this laning 1v1 situation for the most part.
Yep. Jabs' job is to follow the Night Stalker around. So he sees Night Stalker bottom, makes a rotation down there. has to be sure to get some river wards to be sure he can watch the movements of the Night Stalker.
And so far, not really the most profitable night here for Theolacor on that Night Stalker. He hasn't found an opportunity to get that impact in any of the lanes.
It's still not too bad, though. You know, the Arc Warden's still farming, Dragon Knight's still farming, it's just they're not pressuring. That's the big thing.
Yeah, we're now starting to see this point where Adriano level 8, he is going to be able to keep up with CS, and well, 49-5 against 43-11, pretty even in that mid lane. So the fact that there weren't really any sort of those earlier gank attempts, or at least any full commitments, we did see Jab sit around the mid lane, but unable to find a chance to jump in. You are going to see both mid laners be in a very good place in terms of farm, and at this stage as well, both, you know, obviously Ember Spirit having the Remnants, the Dragon Knight having the armor, very hard to really take down with one support added in for a gank. You need a bit of a team effort now for these cores.
Yeah, this is where the rotations need to start coming in. We see Ember make the move toward top with the smoke, trying to pressure the Arc Warden. He can easily get dove. There's only level 4 Arc Warden, level 3 AA. Yeah, and Night Stalker's playing around mid lane. Adriano's taking the mid tower, though. Ice already has to make the rotation toward mid. They're actually committing onto Adriano a bit here with Earth Spirit and Wyvern.
There's going to be some backup coming into the mid lane.
Should be fine.
But again, indeed, Adriano too tanky at this stage, and Theo as well will be able to walk it off. Splinter Blast, not quite enough to bring down this Night Stalker.
Close to Bill.
He's been left alone. Straight in, Mineski go forward for the Arc Warden. Bit of a mistake there from Costa Bill, really, after his team go for that play mid to react to Mineski. Shows himself top, and of course Mineski, they've got all the information. They know he's alone. They're going to be jumping and diving that tier 1 for the Arc Warden kill any day.
Yeah, great move by Nana there. He's even now going to take a quad stack that they had at that hard camp. All 4 big creeps. Theo's going to soak some of that experience, though. So it does get shared a lot, but a lot of gold coming toward that Ember Spirit, and he can get involved a lot once he gets those, if he wants to go for early boots of travel. See which build. As for the Batrider bottom lane, Leposa very close to the Blink Dagger already, 200 gold, so that will be the big move that SG can make with. However, they're suffering a lot on the experience department. That tri-lane is level 4, level 3, and level 3.
Yeah, the laning situation that Mineski managed to get themselves into certainly seeming to have the positive effects that they hope for.
SG's already feeling a bit pressured. They know this game needs to go late game for them. They're already starting to queue up Midas's. Adriano on the DK has one queued up. And we'll probably see other ones as well, being the Arc Warden, of course, because you always get Midas on Arc. And they're going to kind of continue pressure. Dragon form is up. He moves bottom and leaves the mid lane, so Theolacor can start catching back up.
Elder Dragon form back available for Adriano, and straight away pop. So look for the commitment down.
Ice is down here, though. He can put a lot of damage into the Dragon Knight.
Look at that range. Oh, it's beautifully disgusting. I mean, this is a DK just taken down to about a third of his health there off the back of that Arctic Burn. He does have the Invis Rune, and between these two cores, of course, they do not have detection on them at this moment in time, so Adriano will be able to walk off, but the tier 1 will be protected by Ice Ice Ice. The power of the Wyvern there. Let's see how well he does, though, when he's up against 4 heroes, and that is going to be what SG is sending down here. As they're ready, they want him. They want him big, and they want him bad, and they will get him. The haste rune on the poster allowing him to charge straight in, drag back the Wyvern, and they have got him. They'll burn him down. Chain Frost comes back out in response, but Theolacor too far away from anything for the bouncers to connect. Nice movement from there, from SG. Getting that kill done, and that haste rune on the bat making all the difference.
Yeah, clutch timing for haste. He just got the blink delivered, but this is all time where the anti-mage is farming.
Yeah, lots of space for Mushi. And you got to remember, this was Mushi who had just 6 CS a few minutes in. He was really not finding the creeps, but they played that lane absolutely perfectly, Mineski. And now we can see second in the net worth, only just behind Nana's Ember Spirit.
Yeah, both teams having kind of similar views on the game, though. They both want to take it to later stages. Daryl Ice 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 on the Wyvern queuing up a Midas with that anti-mage lineup that they have. It's all about getting that farm, getting that catch-up, though, for this Arc Warden. But damn, anti-mage level 8, Arc Warden level 5. That's pretty scary already. It can be a pretty nice anti-mage game if the levels continue to be at this disparity.
Absolutely, it was something that the panel, they did say they like what SG have, and I guess even in this situation where the anti-mage has had a good start there, as you say, there are still reasons to look at SG's draft and say this is a team that that can deal with this sort of a start going against them because of the fact that they are building for the late game. And in reality, you look at Mineski's heroes, they're not really heroes that are going to be taking towers, taking high ground early on. There is going to be that scope for the game to go on.
Exactly. So getting the Midases is where the SG lineup is going to start to come back in, and they do have the catch. That's the thing. They have that hard lockdown for the anti-mage. They have a lasso. They have a Dragon Tail stun.
Oh, look at this ward and this wraparound. This could be really nice for Mineski. Laposa tries to jump forward, instantly gets Searing Chained. The Chain Frost isn't going to bounce, only comes out to Laposa once. And now looks like it's just time for Mineski to get out. A lot of ults that didn't really amount to much at all for the side.
Ninja Boogie.
He's going to be left behind. He'll dive in deep, draw SG away from the rest of his side. Pays with his life. Adriano actually seeing if he could chase down for more there as he charges forward with the Elder Dragon form. Again, the power of the Arctic Burn will hold him back.
Instant D-ward as well coming out from SG. So good little win there coming out for them.
Yeah, really nice reaction to Mineski. Maybe trying a little too hard for an aggressive play. Top lane though, again, these plays, they leave the Arc Warden alone. And Mineski are being very smart at realizing any sort of chance where Costabile is open for a free kill as Mushi will cut him down with the help of jabs. They've got to be so careful about this SG. Every time, Mineski, they're instantly on top of that arc.
Yeah, he's their win condition as well, too. They were really trying to secure that lane, but not having their pull versus this Lich tri-lane has really set him back so much. 3,300 net worth on the Arc Warden.
Yeah.
However, you know, the Dragon Knight and the Bat Rider are still doing quite well.
Well, the poster wants him. He's hunting. They've got the Ice Blast coming through as well. Ice is going to be slowed down, dragged back across into the fire of Adriano. They'll cut down Ice. They'll get the pressure on the tower as well. The Frost Armor will not be enough to stop this push from the four of them.
They have to get some extra gold coming in for this Arc Warden. Level 6 Arc Warden, still no Midas.
He needs to time Costabile. The rest of his team's getting it. He'll send his illusion mid, but it will be cleaned up quickly by Moon, and it's a decent amount of golden XP. You've got to be careful with that.
Yeah, and they have heroes that can get on top of that Arc Warden too with the Ember Spirit and the AM. Definitely need to.
Level 7 on this Earth Spirit.
They just keep pinging him out. Every time Costabile shows on the map, I think I've seen Nana ping him like 11 times already this game. He knows he just needs to keep that pressure on the Arc Warden. Do not let him catch up into this game.
Yeah, as soon as he gets that Midas complete, that is when the clock starts to tick.
Yeah.
Against Mineski.
It's also, I mean, the Dragon Knight's extremely farmed, though. He's ahead of Anti-Mage because he went for that Midas build. Level 12, he's farming up an Ancient stack, and he's going to have the Blink Dagger soon. That's the catch, but now top.
Laposa comes out for an attempt at a bit of a solo lane. And Mineski again. This top lane has been just an absolute disaster for SG. Mineski making sure that Mushi has this beautiful lane to work in. I mean, Mushi, he hasn't had to leave this lane at all, really. And you can see why he's getting involved in kills. He's getting all the farm and the space that he wants.
They're taking the tier 2 already. This is a Battle Fury anti-mage now. Great movements coming out from Jabs and Mushi together. Keeping that pressure going. Anytime anyone shows top, yeah, they're dead. And Bat Rider was just trying to push the lane out. He just didn't want them to take that tier 2, but in hindsight, he probably wants to stay off the map and just go for those pickoffs.
And at this pace, not only the Battle Fury is going to come at a good time, but of course the Manta style therefore as well. And once that Manta's there for Mushi, it's very hard for SG to have a chance of locking down this anti-mage.
Wait, what the heck? Did Mushi buy a second Void Stone by accident?
I think he may have done it. He did save up more money than was needed for the completed Battle Fury. Unless he wants to go to Lincoln's.
He
wants to go Lincoln's
anyway.
anyway.
He wants to go Lincoln's anyway. But
I mean, I guess the Void Stone as well helps with the mana upkeep, so it can easier. So I guess makes sense. Yeah,
whatever.
Maybe I mean, yeah. I mean, in this sort of game, I guess with the Bat, what you do just go for the Lincolns before the Manta. Bottom lane, in fact, in the jungle though, Ice gets hunted down. They'll lose the Wyvern now, looking for the return. Mineski having this rolling in from the Earth Spirit will set up for the Bat Rider kill, and they'll get the 1-for-1 trade.
SG needs to outnumber to take team fights because of the deficit that they're at the moment. 3K gold lead, but you know, Arc Warden is their strength of their hero, and he's extremely underfarmed. Yeah. Midas though, finally online. He's gonna start getting back up there slowly but surely.
But yeah, I guess thinking about the anti-mage, the Lincoln Sphere against the Bat and Search, especially when he's Rush Blink.
Yeah. It's
a good way to start.
Absolutely.
The regen's brilliant as well. You know, it just keeps him sort of at max whilst he goes around those jungle camps.
It looked awkward at the moment.
It did. It was like, oh, instant Void Stone on top of the battlefield. Because he bought them at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what. the most surprising.
But like you said, the mana regen is going to be pretty nice. And
really nice.
You're a big fan of the multiple perseverance build
I
too,
am.
right?
The more perseverance is the better. Mushi, a man after my own heart. Beautiful. And it is, of course, top of the net worth. But as you say, definitely the impressive thing from SG is this Midas DK. I mean, he's just farming so quickly. A minute ago, he was a few hundred gold away from the Blink Dagger. Now he's well on the way to working into that BKB.
Which is going to be very nice. BKB this game, there's like no physical damage coming out from Mineski. It's only anti-mage and I guess Winter Wyvern once he gets that talent. That level 15 plus 75 damage.
Mid lane Mineski, smoked up jabs, ice, Ninja Boogie. Ready to see if anyone heads down. Good scan as well from them. They know that there's someone or something on that high ground.
Top, they're actually going for Mushi here. They get the stun from Adriano. They're getting the follow-up silence, but it is still daytime, so that is not a long one.
There's the reaction coming through for Jab straight away with the Magnetize. Boulder Smash and Silence onto 2. He'll draw them away from Mushi, but it looks like he will pay with his life as the jump in from the posters there, lassoing him back. Frost Armor helping him out a little bit against these right clicks, but slowly and surely Jabs will finally be taken down. But he does keep Mushi alive, and of course, in an AM game, that's normally just the aim at this sort of pre-30 minutes. As long as you can keep your AM alive and farming, you're happy with the state of the game.
Yeah. So Mushi is going to go for Manta first, of course. I think that's just the more proper thing to be able to remove that silence.
With the casual perseverance?
Yeah, I think he will go back for the Lincolns afterwards versus Batrider and versus the Dragon Knight, Dragon Tail, of course. But yeah, I think Manta's just much more important of a timing. I like this build up better than the Vlads that he went for the last game too, just having the perseverance casual. Still better. Mid lane, Leposa in some trouble here.
And jump in as they find an opportunity. They've got Ice hitting in from the back lines with the Arctic Burn. Leposa's gone there. We'll get the slow onto Theo. Pops the nighttime moon. Doesn't get the chains off. Theo will be able to back off. Looks like the chains, I believe, was still on cooldown as it were, but 19 minutes hero damage, as you can see. I mean, look at that. Look at this Ice Wyvern. Top of the hero damage at the moment in the entire game, and by quite some difference as well.
To be expected. The Arctic Burn in the laning phase,
insane.
and just anytime he hits anyone, it's 50% of their HP. Yeah. Just one tap.
Adriano.
Like, look at this. Now he's going to put 1,000 damage onto this Dragon Knight with a couple of hits.
This Wyvern with no real damage items at all as well. Just goes to show.
Yeah, I mean, it's 9% for 5 seconds, so it's pretty absurd. And Sprinter Blast early on is very high damage nuke, 7-second cooldown, 340 damage. Pace of the game slowing down a bit though, which I think both teams are pretty happy with it. Like Mineski has an anti-mage who's extremely farmed, and SG are like, okay, we need to just have our Arc Warden try to catch back up because he's still super behind.
I mean, he's starting to climb back, but as you say, it is the beginning of quite a long road here for Costa Bill. But it's a road that you can certainly expect to see him reach the end of. There's very little reason for him to be held back when he has that Midas. There's a lot of safe ways for him to farm as an Arc Warden, and he, of course, as we've seen, is an Arc Warden player to be feared.
Yeah, and still only level 10 though, so he's struggling quite a lot.
Look at this, wow. He tries to get involved, but instantly Ice just turns with that range of the Arctic Burn, making it impossible for the Bat to find the initiation. He has a Cold Embrace onto Jabs, buying him some time. Winter's Curse down, as Mushi will jump in, just looking to burn the mana of this dragon. SG, they do get the Jabs kill, the Chain Frost, forcing SG to split back up. Adriano very tanky here. They're trying their best to bring him down. They do still have 4 heroes working at it. In comes Mushi with the Mana Void to finish off the Dragon Knight, and they will get the kill.
Looking rough for SG, unable to get that grab, that ward that they put on the high ground there. Yeah. Able to see the Batrider right when he tries to go for the jump.
I mean, it's such a nice answer to the Bat Blink as well. That range of the Winter Wyvern, absolutely insane.
The range of the Wyvern and just Ember Spirit naturally versus Batrider is one of the more favorable matchups because you can instant chains before the lasso comes out. And they're at such a deficit because of this Lich lane, because of this decision of Mineski to go aggro. It's just not letting Arcborn get involved into the game. He's going to have Maelstrom soon, but he ideally wants to be way higher level. Bottom lane.
I mean, look, Ice ready to go. In come the bots from Nana.
This Wyvern's doing so much work.
And they're going to get a second one as well. Mushi and Jabs catching off Bardino. on the side of it all, and it's just kill after kill now for Mineski. It's really starting to rack up 11-6. The net worth difference being the big one, and the fact that Mushi is exactly where he wants to be on this anti-mage, very close to having that Manta style complete. And he is going to be an absolute nightmare to take down. SG at this stage, they really are just looking and hoping that Kostabil can find that farm, get himself back up to the top, and with that Maelstrom completion, he certainly has the chance to. But Mineski are really upping the pressure now.
They've really got to stall it. Oh, whoa. We see he actually takes the 35 movement speed talent.
That's a little surprising, isn't it, for the core Wyvern? Yeah.
Yeah, a bit different from what we've been seeing, at least. Oh, well, from what we've seen from Mu, because it's the only one who's played the core one, of course. But I have seen majority of those Wyverns take the damage talent, since it's such an absurd one with that 75.
Oh.
Not as
He's
playing.
Going to be spooked there.
Not as playing so confident. He's playing very well on the Ember Spirit this game. 5-0-3, getting involved in majority of those kills. Anytime they land a Splinter Blast, he just bosses in and looks like he can get an opportunity to keep that pressure going.
Oh, Mushi, he keeps going back and forth. He actually ended up finishing the Lincolns before the Manta. He just gets the Yasha portion. So
he's just
I mean, it's certainly working. Yeah, I do like Mushi's decision to get this game.
That's fine. It's as long as he has something to save himself without getting lassoed and killed, because he's worth too much at this point.
I mean, Yasha just as on its own is such a brilliant item for the anti-mage, of course.
Yep.
For the farm and for the fighting, and you know, Mushi at this stage is just waltzing into fights, picking up kills with the Mana Void, level 18.
Yeah, the level disparity is absurd right now. It's 9k gold lead for Mineski, and it's getting close to that 10,000 experience lead, or getting higher than that 10,000 experience lead already. Just this aggro tri-lane really working out so well for them.
Mushi just jumping in straight away. So Adriano turning his attention towards the tower. SG, how can they deal with this sort of a push? At the moment, Mineski look like they don't want to set up and stick around. They will
they
TP
got
away. Laposa does manage to get the grab onto the Wyvern. Adriano coming in as well. There's the Winter's Curse. Ice is not going to be able to get himself out of there, though. The Firefly too much. The Chain Frost not really causing too many issues for SG. Will continue to bounce a few more, but the damage not enough to bring down the tankiness of this Dragon Knight, as SG this time will claim themselves the 2 kills and lose no one themselves.
Much needed kills as well. It's a lot of experience going their way, 3,200. And it's trying to buy space for poor Kostabil, who's getting closer to that Mjolnir, so he's going to be able to push lanes out a lot harder.
He is slowly but surely building up. We saw him sort of reach the same level as his bat. Now he's working up to Isis Wyvern. At this pace, he's certainly going to make it back up to the ranks of the Ember and the DK. Catching up to Mushi is going to be another thing in regards, because of how well this AM can farm, especially with the lead that he's had in comparison to the Arc Warden. But I think definitely at this pace we can expect to see Kostabil reach that 2nd place on the net worth.
He's still getting doubled in GPM though. 346, well not totally though, but 346 GPM on Arc Warden, 645 on the Anti-Mage. Mushi averaging more than 10 last hits per minute because of that early Battle Fury. And yeah, like you said, Manta's going to be online too. On top of that, Lincoln's, it's near impossible for them to actually kill him.
What's the KDA for Mushi as well?
It's 5-0-2.
5-0-2, very
He's
clean.
very involved.
Yeah. I mean, look at him. He's the one leading the charge. He walks in, gets the vision. They spot Adriani out. They get the first Arctic Burn touch, and now they just look to give him the chase down. He has to put the BKB. They'll jump back. Wait out that magic immunity. TPs will be coming through as well from the Ember Spirit. Nana looking to join the fight. They know that BKB is going to wear off, and they're there perfectly in time. Coming in with the Boulder Smash. Searing Chains as well. Very nice play from Mineski. They poke and prod at him, get him to pop BKB and the Shrine, and they don't back. They stay in the neighborhood. They chase him down, and they come in with the fantastic timing on that Boulder Smash.
I think this might be the best form that I've seen Mineski play in this entire tournament. They are really looking like a full-blown team. Everyone is working so well together. They're all moving around and getting involved in the kills. Jabs has been on point with his rotations, and I mean, Ice with this Wyvern is doing so much damage, even though he's 1-4.
This is scary now when they start to force the high ground, when Kostabil is still not where he needs to be on this Arc Warden. Mushi just allowed to be as aggressive as he wants with the amount of items he has, the backup, that Frost Armor, the Urn building him back up. And look at the damage already done to this tier 3, just 26 minutes in. Mineski threatening the high ground. SG will have their Dragon Knight back up in 10 seconds, does have the Elder Dragon form.
That's a tier 3 though. Shrines are now available to get sieged.
Yeah, they'll play it easy, Mineski. They know that they've got such a lead. 10k gold lead, the Shrines. Gonna make that even greater. Roshan's there as well if they wish to go for the taking. No reason to throw anything away here as Mineski.
Yeah, SG's feeling very pressured. They bought a gem a couple minutes ago and nobody's actually holding it. They've left it on the courier. They want to be able to take out that vision that Mineski has, but losing that gem could cost them pretty much the entire game, just completely losing all map control. It's already getting close to that point. Just need more time for this arc to catch up. Mushi now committing for solo plays, going onto AA.
I mean, why not? He should get it, and he does. In fact, Costa Bill could have been in trouble. There will be the backup from the poster. But Mushi, I mean, he should be fine. He can blink out of this. He takes the kill, then jumps and TPs out, getting away.
And
Mushi,
yeah.
I mean, this is when, you know, there's big issues here for SG this game, where your AM is just allowed to waltz up, take the kill on the Arc Warden, despite the fact that there were other members of SG in the surrounding area, and they couldn't do anything to stop him getting away with it.
Mushi anti-mage just having a incredibly good game. Gonna have Aghanims finished up any moment now too, and it's, I don't know how they kill him when he's got both, when he's got all three of these save items, Manta, Linken's, Aghanims.
Another shrine here for Mineski. 28 minutes in, Mushi will have the completed Aghanims and Lincoln Spit. Mushi making it look like this is the easiest game of his life, as he is just playing this AM with no faults at all. SG unable to trip him up.
They're feeling desperate now. They grabbed the gem. They have to be try to get this ward vision out. They have to try to come back somehow, but it's starting to get to, yeah, it's been a disaster territory. Now it's 15K gold lead.
I mean, they can't even jump him.
Nope.
They really can't. Mushi heading into the Roshan pit, knowing that there's absolutely nothing to worry about that could come in from SG's side here. The freest of Roshans for Mushi. It looks like SG will try and contest it, but this is going to be such a tricky fight for them.
I don't know how they kill this AM. He's so durable already. 2,300 life. I mean, we saw, you know, he can jump into 3 heroes and kill them by himself, so now he's even stronger.
Maybe they could try for a snatch. But that really would be about it. They'd have to just get perfect timing. They do have the Ice Blast coming through, but immediately the root from Nana holds two of them outside of the pit. Roshan's still alive. Adriana actually going to come in with the BKB. It looks like Mineski, they're leaving the pit. They're going to let the Diet take the Roshan. Aegis is still on the ground, though. Will be picked up, though, by Adriano. They do lose the Batrider. Costa Beer falling low as well. Adriano trying to turn. The Cold Embrace is there on jabs. Will keep him alive. Mushi turns to finish off the DK. And they will take that Aegis. They do still get an easy team fight victory. Adriano, it's a sweet blink. Oh, Mo! Mushi, he blinked up to the high ground. He assumed that Adriano would try and go for the sneaky cliff play.
He's still dead.
Yeah, gets himself back down. They will clean up the DK as well. I mean, Mineski win the team fight. A little bit weird how they sort of backed off away from Roshan despite how low it was. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It
They're
really
too
doesn't.
strong at this point.
It really
yeah.
doesn't, as we saw.
I think we may see SG just go for like one more defense and then just tap out of this one. I don't think that they have anything to deal with this anti-mage at this point.
I think it just said the AA was involved in 114% of kills. That's incredible. I mean, that's some crazy maths there.
He's part of all their kills, yeah. He's 0, 4, and 8.
But 114%. I mean, I guess he's been involved in the deaths as well.
4
That
deaths,
adds up.
yeah.
All right, here we go once again, down bottom. Mineski onto the racks. No Dragon Knight for 25 seconds. SG with just the 4 alive. Pretty much nothing they can do to stop this. Mineski, 20K gold lead coming up with these racks being taken down. And this game, I mean...
This one's done. There's no way they can... They can't be at this much of a deficit as an Arc Warden. Even if you can try to farm and catch up, it's impossible versus an AM.
I mean, that's the thing. The anti-mage pick can be so devastatingly strong in the right situation. We've seen some of the best teams in the world suffer when an AM is picked to the right time against them. It's just impossible to play. Adriana will jump in, gets held back by the Winter's Curse. Ice Blast connects onto Moon, but they don't have the lockdown. Moon will be able to walk it off, turns with the chains and the slight, holding the DK back, allowing Ice to beat into him with the Arctic Burn. SG will force Mineski back for the time being. They don't get any kills.
Decent hold at least, but still, that net worth and experience lead, absolutely enormous. No one ended up dying either. If they get a kill out of that, it's great, but not getting a single one, that's where they don't get any experience, they don't get anything for all this, and Dragon Form was popped.
Yeah.
And this Night Stalker and AA unable to get any items through any of these situations because they're not getting kills. Just getting further and further behind.
I mean, surely after you've seen the way that Mushi's been playing AM today, you have to consider banning this hero. I mean, do you even take the risk of trying to draft something that can absolutely and entirely dissuade an anti-mage pick, or do you think you do just have to take it away from these guys?
It is definitely looking problematic.
Yeah.
They're getting, I think the laning setup was just absolutely phenomenal for Mineski this game. Giving Mushi everything he needed and putting pressure on the Arc Warden as well. It was really impressive to see. Let's see if they can still try to hold this, though. They're really desperate. They can't lose another Rax.
Here we go. Mushi.
They break the Lincolns, they break the Aghanims as well.
But
another
Adriano,
Lincolns.
he's immediately out of mana, has to pop the BKB and retreat. Winter's Curse holding him in place as Costa Beale's Illusion starts to beat down on the DK. He will survive for now, but the jump forward from Moon and the Mana Void from Mushi finishes them off. Double kill, GG is called, and Mushi AM, Mineski, absolutely perfect performance from them around that hero pick, and impossible for SG to play this game. As you say, straight off the bat from the lanes, Mineski made the move. I sort of asked the question whether it would have been worth them trying to react, and maybe in hindsight they could have had a better chance if they stopped Mineski getting this incredibly favorable lane matchup.
You know, it's the AM at the end of the day that really does it all, but I mean, the Lich really just hurt them so much in the levels. They got such a disadvantage in the laning phase. Wyvern just spams out anytime they try to push a tower and gets like pickoffs because of it over and over again, while the AM just free farms. Ember Spirit had a great game rushing the Boots of Travel. Same thing with Jabs. Clean rotations. It just was a very crisp game, to be honest, by Mineski. And SG definitely crumbled a bit. The Night Stalker unable to really find anything because of that level disadvantage that happened. And I feel like that was kind of the name of this game, just everyone being under-leveled on SG, unable to find those kind of pick-off opportunities versus this Mineski lineup.
Absolutely. I mean, Mineski today, they've just absolutely, they've turned it up to another level.
Yeah.
But the question is, how much is that down to the fact that they're getting AM in these positions that are looking incredibly favorable? I mean, game 2, where will the AM fall? Will it be taken away by SG? Maybe they'll play it themselves. But as we're seeing so far, Mushi and his anti-mage, I don't think he's died once today so far. Back over to you guys on the panel.
Yeah, dominating performance once again from Mineski as they are now 1 up against SG Esports. And this is an important match because the winner of this will be in the top 4 of the tournament, meaning that they'll be in the playoffs, which is great because that is also where the prize money is, but that is also where the TI qualifying points are. So that is what these teams are playing for, and so far so good. Mineski looking strong. The draft obviously was very strong as well. Lyrical, what do you think of that game?
I definitely said Mineski was going to win. I don't know about you guys. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it was really good though. I think the Wyvern was the standout pick. Like the wave clear that it provided, and you kept on, when we were up there upstairs, you just kept on being like, how is he doing so much damage to him? It's like the Arctic burn over and over again. It's just so hard to deal with.
Yep, but I think the most important thing that I did not expect is the lane. They actually went aggro try with the anti-mage to slow down the Arc Warden. The reason why I sided SG's lineup a tad bit more, because I was like thinking they're gonna maybe reach a point where they can push very hard with the DK plus Arc Warden, and it'll be really scary. That is thinking that the Arc Warden would have a good early game, but it actually didn't happen because they actually went aggro try with the Lich.
They shut down not just the Arc Warden, everybody was kind of under-leveled, and at the same time, by having that aggressive tri lane, they forced all the supports to help out the Arc Warden, which is great, but that means also that mid and off lane are just left to their devices.
The other thing that I was really surprised was how Wyvern was 50-50 with Bat Rider. In my mind,
it wasn't even 50-50. Actually won that lane.
In my mind, I was like, shouldn't it be actually hard for the Wyvern? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't played the hero off lane, so I have no idea how the matchup works. But just in theory, I thought Bat Rider would actually have an advantage in the lane, but apparently not.
Well, the other thing that I was thinking about, we went back to that decision to go Arc Warden instead of maybe something that could contest a little bit easier or find kills. I was thinking, again, the Bloodseeker. And I don't know how that laning stage would have worked, but so many times it just felt like with a level 6 Arc Warden, he just wasn't doing anything. It was just a range creep.
He got shut down too much, though, really too much. Way too much. At one point, he was like, what, level 5 and the AM was like level 8, level 9. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it was
oh
rough.
my god.
Yeah.
It was really not good.
Kudos to the supports for allowing it to happen, because normally when you have a tri-lane versus tri-lane, on both sides you're going to have some under-leveled heroes.
But I think overall in this game, for SG, I think Liposa, he played really well. He kept his team in the game in a lot of occasions with his pickoffs. Like he was able to kill the Wyvern a lot. I think the first one was where he actually got a haste rune, actually dove, and they were able to kill him and pressure the tower. Because when Adriano will be pushing towers with the DK, Ice would be defending with his blast, and he made it very difficult for the DK to pressure towers. So that few pickoffs actually allowed SG to take a couple of towers and still maintain some relevance in the game to help the Arc Warden. But eventually the difference between the Arc Warden and the AM just grew too much.
And I was thinking, like, they just didn't have enough heroes that were able to, like, make stuff happen around the map. Ancient Apparition, the Ice Blast, is always just, like, almost able to kill somebody.
When this is happening, game is over. The AM literally 1v3. He killed 2 heroes, he blinked out, and he TP'd right in front of them. This is like, when you see this, you're like, okay, guys, maybe the game just got out of control. And he went even for a super peculiar build. He went Belfry, he got a Perseverance, and then he went Yasha, just mushy things, And I was like, oh, what's happening here?
I mean,
he wanted to buy a Skadi at the end. I'm like,
at the end of the day, he wasn't going to die with those, but I know what you mean. It was a little bit funny to watch.
Just mushy stuff, You don't know what he's buying. It's either you don't know what he's buying, or he has 10k saved up in his bank, and he doesn't spend it, and you're like,
because he doesn't know what he's buying.
I think sometimes he doesn't know he has 10k, He's just playing the game. Oh, I actually have 10k.
I don't have that problem when I play Dota. Usually I don't.
I mean, SG does get the ages here, but obviously they still lose the fight at this point. At this point the game was already
the game was already too far out of reach. I would say after watching this game, I think the decision making on the lanes is what won Mineski the game. I think the lane decision was extremely crucial this game.
And here's the
I don't think they expected the lanes to be like this as well. Like, enemy picks AM, you're like, oh, we should be fine, They're not going to contest my Arc Warden's lane. And then you see the AM on your lane with the Lich, you're like,
Well, and I know they really value the Lich on SG themselves. Right here, the Winter Wyvern play by Ice 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 thrown up there for the MVP stuff. To me, it was like his ability to do really well in the lane against the Batrider, and then later on the wave clear. Because one of the ways that you could have maybe got back into this game is by taking down a bunch of towers. But they were always just spamming out the wave or forcing somebody out of lane because they brought him down to half HP with one.
He made a lot of space for the AM to farm. Like, he got ganked like a few times by the bat, but that's what he has to do. Like, sometimes when you play Dota, you just can't think about, oh, I just want to die, which will prevent you from doing your job. Sometimes doing your job is more important than not dying, You need to do what you have to do in the game, and your teammate is going to win the game for you.
Okay, so the lanes didn't go the way of SG, but why didn't they swap lanes? We see so many times people do musical lanes. Why is that not an
I don't
option
think they
here?
could have swapped. I think if they swap, the Lich will just follow it. The Lich will just follow the Arc Warden.
And I think that it's like, if you TP, then they just follow with
TPs,
and then you're stuck there.
Unless
that's the other thing.
They pre-swap the lanes before they came out at level 1, and then you force Mineski to TP first to the lane, and then you TP away.
Then their TP's
then they have to
walk.
walk.
So they cannot follow.
Then it will be bad for them.
Like, maybe, I don't remember, did the Arc Warden die in lane? Because if he died in lane...
No, he didn't die in lane.
Maybe it's even better to die in lane at that point, and you walk out to the other lane, so that way when they TP to follow you, then you can TP to the other one and try and get there.
I don't know. Like, I think the best way is definitely, if they anticipated a lane, they needed to go out, place a lane wall, like, early, or you just like somehow you need to scout, like somehow you need to scout it, because otherwise if it happens in the lane, it's just too late. If you TP right there, they just need to follow you, and you're still screwed, Yeah,
you're gonna be the last one to be able to move.
Yeah, it's already too late when they already arrive on the lane. Unless they scout it beforehand, then it's possible for them to salvage the situation.
Well, they didn't this time, but they have a chance to salvage it in a game 2, because there will be a game 2 between these two teams, and it's gonna happen very soon. But before that happens, we're gonna have a short break, so we'll be right back.